Yeah, here you say there are all like Kripaya, Bhutya, Tejasa, Mahimasa. These are all qualities of the Lord. So it's the one who is full with mercy. That is Bhutya. It's opulent, all the opulence. Tejasa, he has all the strength. And then is Mahima Ojasa.
Mahimo Jasa.
Mahima, it means glories. So with glories and Ojasa is also strength. So with glory and strength.
His glory and strength.
Justaha.
Justaha.
Endowed.
Endowed.
One who has. Isha.
Isha.
So who has the one who has all these qualities is Isha. Is what does it mean, Isha?
Lord.
The Lord, yes. Oh my Lord.
Oh my Lord.
Gunai. Qualities, yeah. With transcendental qualities. Sarvai. What does it mean? Yes. Sarvai means all. Taha. Therefore. Asi. You are. Bhagavan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhu. And? Master. Right. So here is because you have Kripaya, Bhutya, Tejasa, Mahima, Ojasa, because you have all these qualities. Guna, Sarvai, all these quality belongs to you. Tato, therefore, Asi, you, Bhagavan, Prabhu. So you are the Lord and you are the Master. So this is so when we read, we understand this more. Yata tuam kripaya bhutya. Tejasa mahimojasa. Justaisha gunai sarvai. Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu. Yata tuam kripaya bhutya. Tejasa mahimojasa. Justaisha gunai sarvai. Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu. Yata tvam kripaya bhutya. Tejasa mahimojasa. Justaisha gunai sarvai. Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu.
Yata tvam kripaya bhutya.
Tejasa mahimojasa. Justaisha gunai sarvai.
Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu.
Yata tvam kripaya bhutya.
Tejasa mahimojasa. Justaisha gunai sarvai. Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu. Yata tvam kripaya bhutya. Tejasa mahimojasa. Justaisha gunai sarvai. Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu.
Yata tvam kripaya bhutya.
Tejasa mahimojasa.
Justaisha gunai sarvai. Tatosi Bhagavan
Prabhu. Thank you. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
O my Lord, because you are endowed with causeless mercy, all opulences, all prowess, and all glories and strength, and all the transcendental qualities, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone.
You can take them.
Yeah. So, purport. In this verse, the words Tato Si Bhagavan Prabhu mean, therefore you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all six opulences in full, and moreover, is extremely kind to his devotees. Although he is full in himself, he nonetheless wants all living entity to surrender unto him, so that they may engage in his service. And thus, he becomes satisfied. He, the Lord, becomes satisfied. He's full in himself, but he becomes really satisfied only when he has the love of all the living entities. Although he's full in himself, he nonetheless becomes pleased when his devotee offers him patram, pushpam, palam, toyam, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water in devotion. Sometimes the Lord, as the child of Mother Yashoda, requests his devotee for some food, as if he were very hungry. And sometimes he tells his devotees in a dream that his temple and his garden are now very old, and that he cannot enjoy them very nicely, and therefore he requests the devotee to repair them. So this one is Prabhupada mentioned that he mentioned that the devotee in a dream dreams that his temple is not so nice that he has to repair. And lately, I think 2 years ago in Nandagram, they were telling us the story. This is referring to a story that happened in Nandagram, that is the palace where Lord Krishna, when he was small, he was living, and this palace is still, the temple is still present nowadays, but because of usage, it became old. So the whole floor, few years ago, it was all uneven. And then one night, one of the pujari got a dream. And it was Krishna, as a small Krishna, and he said, my knees are hurting. Because when he's small, he's walking with the, I don't know how you say in English, with the...
Crawling.
He's crawling on the courtyard of the temple. This is the house of Nanda Baba in Nandagram. He said, please do something, I cannot stay on it. It's hurting my knees. And so the pujaris, after they understood that they have to repair the temple. And so then they got donation and they repaired, and now it's very new. So yeah, that's what the Prabhupada refers to here. And sometimes he's buried in the earth, and as if he's unable to come out of himself. And then he requests his devotee to rescue him. Sometimes he requests his devotee to preach his glories all over the world, although he alone is quite competent to perform this task. This is also so nice, because Prabhupada refers to himself, no? He's very humble. He requests his devotee to preach his glories all over the world, although he could do it himself. And even though the Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all possession and is self-sufficient, he still depends on his devotee. Therefore, the relationship of the Lord with his devotees is extremely confidential. invoke some auspiciousness, that we get something enlivening. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sham E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapati Gopeshra Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabham Sutedevi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pankor Mamamanda Matergati Matsarva Swapadam Bhujo Radha Namo Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kalona Seva Nasyeva Nasyeva Gatiranyata Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but my spiritual master has been opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Therefore, I offer to him my humble obeisances. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurukami Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Yeah, we need to thank Srila Prabhupada. It's amazing the purport, the way he's always explaining for us, giving us the secrets of devotional service. So we are very thankful to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you also for being here. Yeah, we are very fortunate that we can discuss about these topics. So it was a very beautiful purport. We heard how the Lord, although he has everything, but still he says he can only be satisfied in his heart. He's really satisfied only when he's having relationship with everyone. He said, with all living entities, he's interested in this relationship. You can imagine me also like a rich man. There are many big men, rich men, but many of them, if the real satisfaction you really find in relationship when you are loved by someone. So the same is with the Lord. He has everything, but yes, it's not so much of importance for him. He's there, but what he's really looking for is a relationship, and so he's looking for a relationship also with every one of us. So that's why he's so kind. That's why he's appearing as a deity form, as a spiritual master. That's why he's coming in this world, because he's looking for us. It's like a father, if the child is running away from house, he might go and look for him. So in the same way, the Lord, he loves us so much that he's coming because he's looking for us. So it's about relationship. So the topic of today is Sambandha, because it's connection with the Lord. It's actually the most important element in our practice. It's the base of our, also in our philosophy. There is Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. We start with Sambandha. Sambandha, it means relationship with the Lord. Then there is practice and then the goal. But it starts with this, it's like the fundament that is Sambandha. So today we will try to develop on this topic, and the aim of this talk is that we hope that by hearing more about Sambandha, our desire to develop this relationship with Krishna becomes stronger, and that we become more aware of the importance to chant, of the chanting of the holy name. It's a place where we can again connect with the Lord. So the importance of chanting the holy name with Sambandha. We will have 3 parts on the lecture. The first one is recovering our lost heart. The second, we will give a little more definition on Sambandha, what does it mean, and what does it mean, and what is happening when we do activities with Sambandha. And then the third one is how to practice this Sambandha in our daily life. But first of all, yesterday we received a letter, and I thought it was very interesting, this letter, so we thought to share it with you today. So I will read you a small letter. And this one is a letter from Krishna. And he says, as you got up this morning, I watched you and hoped that you would talk to me, even if it was just for a few seconds, asking my opinion or thanking me for something that happened yesterday. But I noticed you were already too busy in your thoughts, and okay, then the time came for you to sit down and chant my names, few of my names. And there I thought, for sure today while calling for me, it will connect with me. But no, so many things from yesterday were in your mind, and still your mind, and more things to organize for today. So no space for me, only broken names. And then you were running around the house to get ready. I know there would still be a few minutes for you to stop and say, hello my dear Krishna, but you were too busy again. And then at one point you even had to wait for 10 minutes. So you just you were sitting in the chair. And then I saw you spring to your feet. I thought you wanted to talk with me. But you ran to your phone and you were checking your messages. I watched patiently all day long. With all your activities, I guess you were too busy to say anything to me. I noticed that also before lunch you looked around. And, but yeah, maybe you felt too embarrassed to talk to me. And that is why you didn't bow your head, but that's okay. There is still more time left for today. And I hope that you will still talk with me. And then you went home, and it seems you still had a lot of things to do. And after a few of them, you turned on the TV, not thinking about anything. But again, I waited patiently, and you didn't talk to me. Bedtime. Now it's bedtime, and but yeah, I guess you felt too tired. After you said good night to your family, you went to bed and fell asleep immediately. That's okay. Because actually, you may not realize that I'm your best friend, that I'm always there with you. I've got patience, more than you will ever know. And I even want to teach you how to be patient with others. I love you so much, and I wait every day for a small note, a small prayer, a small thought, or a thankful part in your heart. It's very hard to have only a one-side relationship. Well, you are getting up once again, and once again I will wait. With nothing but love for you. Hoping that today you will give me some time. Your friend, Krishna. So, it's a very beautiful think when we sit down for doing our chanting, the first thing that we can see is how much immediately so many things are coming into our consciousness. And yeah, that's the problem is like because we lost our heart with many other things by coming in this material world, and then we saw so many lifetimes, and even just lifetimes, so many things we are doing, and we give our heart to so many things. And but yeah, underneath all of that, actually there is only one need. We are looking for so many things, but actually what we are really looking for is for Krishna, is the need for Krishna, for God. That's the only thing actually that can completely satisfy us. There is nothing else. Our spiritual master would often say, like in our heart we have a hole that has a particular shape. It has the shape of Krishna. You can try to put many other things, but they don't fit there. So yeah, it doesn't work. There is a beautiful quotation from quote from Prabhupada about the importance of relationship. Say this relationship is already established because I am eternal. God is eternal, therefore my relationship with Him is also eternal. That relationship is there, but now due to the covering of this material body, I have forgotten. So this is my position. In the conditioned state, in this material conditioned life, our position is that we have forgotten our relationship with God. But therefore we are trying to establish so many relationships with this material world. I'm trying to find some relationship with particular type of society, with particular type of community, with particular type of nation, with particular type of family or individuals. So many ways I'm searching where is my relationships. Because I have lost my relationship with God. Therefore, I have to re-establish. I have to revive my old relationship with Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. This Krishna consciousness process is to, just like in the darkness, you are finding your things, your wash, you cannot find it out. Sometimes you are touching this, sometimes but touching that, but the real thing you are not touching. So you are bewildered, you are harassed. And now you, if you touch Krishna consciousness, this harassment will be stopped. It's such a nice thing. We are giving you your lost relationship, which you are searching out life after life. And you are confused. Take this, you will be happy. You will find your relationship, eternal relationship with Krishna. This is Prabhupada's introduction on Bhagavad Gita. And it's very nice how Prabhupada puts it. Like in the night you try to find some things, you touch some things, but it's not so in the same way we try to find many relationships. But because we are in darkness, so we say, okay, Krishna consciousness means we give you again this relationship with the Lord. Yes, so as we were mentioning, so when we sit down, so many things are coming in our heart. And so the example that is given in the scriptures is that the heart is like a temple. It's mentioned like the temple of the heart. And so it's like, but in the temple of our heart, there are some doors by which we can enter the temple of the heart. But in our door, there are so many, if you have so much stuff in front of the door, you cannot enter the door. So the problem that we have ourselves, that we are not able to feel Krishna's presence, that we don't feel that is different than the ordinary, because we are not able to enter the sacred space in our heart, because there are too many other things. And so first thing that we need to do is to clear the door, make space so that we can enter. And but a mechanical process, just chanting mechanically, will not help. There is even a verse that says actually you can chant everything for lifetimes, but this will not bring you in this space where you can meet the Lord. And so we need to understand that we are not really doing just a spiritual practice when we chant, but we are entering a relationship. Jai Shri Radha Madana Mohana Ki Jai. So I like very much this sentence. So we need to understand that we are not really doing just a spiritual practice when we chant, but we are actually entering a relationship. Yeah? Therefore, we need to be present. You cannot speak with someone and be somewhere else. So when we start to chant the holy name, we are speaking with Krishna. We cannot start to chant the holy name and be somewhere else. This is, like Gauri yesterday was saying, this is craziness. Yeah. So we need to put, it means we need to put our mind in the heart. We need to enter a different space to meet the Lord. And so now we will try to understand a little how to do that. First by explaining actually the real meaning of Sambandha. So Sambandha means relationship. And here I have just one last quote from Prabhupada. I thought this is also very nice, so I will just share with you. So again, it's from a lecture from Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada saying, devotee means that is firmly convinced about his relationship with God. And what is that relationship? That relationship is on the basis of love. The devotee loves God, and God loves the devotee. This is the only relationship. That's all. God is after devotee, and devotee is after God. This is the relationship. So one has to establish this relationship. Just like Arjuna is in relationship with Krishna as a friend. Similarly, you can be in relationship with God as a lover. You can be in relationship with God as master and servant. You can be in relationship with God as father and son. There are so many relationships. As we have got relationships within the material world, this is only perverted reflection of that 5 relationship with God. But we have forgotten that. So this Krishna consciousness movement is to revive that consciousness. It is nothing new. It is just to bring an insane man to a normal condition of life. It's again, like we are insane. And so the Krishna consciousness is just to bring us to the normal condition of life. To forget God means that is abnormal condition. And to have a relationship with God is normal condition. So Krishna consciousness means to re-establish, to be re-established in our normal condition of life. This is also from a lecture on the Bhagavad Gita 4.1. So Sambandha, the Sanskrit is Sam and Bandha. There are two words. Sam means totally, and Bandha bound. So Sambandha is that knowledge that binds us to Krishna. So it means to know deeply from the heart, like Prabhupada says, devotee means that he is firmly convinced about his relationship with God. So it means to know deeply in the heart that we are spirit soul, eternal spirit soul, and that Krishna is Prabhu, it's our master, and that we need to turn to him. So this is Sambandha. So our spiritual life will not function properly if we don't understand, if we are not properly connected with Krishna, with this relationship, if we don't deal with Krishna in a personal way. And the greatest problem that we have in this material life, like Prabhupada was mentioning in the example he was saying, the darkness, like in the darkness of the night. So the main problem that we have in this conditioned life is that our true identity is covered by darkness, by who we think we are. And there is it's a philosopher who is saying like that every one of us carries an identity kit. Like you have a kit for emergency, it's So it's a bag where you have all the things. So ourselves also, we have an identity kit. Like I think I am a very good devotee, I think I'm a lady, I think I'm a wife, I think I have 50 years old. So this is all what is a luggage, a bag that we carry with us. And so many identification. And so we carry this subtle and gross luggage always with us, and as well as when we sit down to chant. Yeah? But this that again doesn't work. So we need to do a mentality adjustment. So we need to be aware. When we sit down to chant, we need to leave the bag out of the door. So from the moment we step into the chanting, when we do our first step, the first thing we need to do when we are in front of the door, we need to say, okay, now I am not this any longer. No matter what happened, no matter what I think, forget. I just leave it out. Need to make a conscious endeavor, leave it out and think, okay, I am just your servant. I am your lost servant. And in this way we can enter the door of the temple of the heart. And only with this attitude we can have real experience of the holy name. We can finally go into this deep level of chanting the holy name. Because the chanting of the holy name is there where we will have our first meeting with Krishna face to face. There is a beautiful song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur where he's explaining that in the chanting of the holy name, through the chanting of the holy name is actually, it will reveal to us. The song says, revealing to me is my spiritual form, is bringing me to the spiritual world, and there I see Radha and Krishna. So this is the first meeting that we will have with Radha and Krishna will be in the holy name. Because the holy name brings us to a different space. It still is in our heart, but our heart is not just a mechanical pump. There is much more there. That is where we are situated, where Vrindavana is there, the whole spiritual world is there. Naturally, in all the tradition, this is mentioned. I was just reading a book also from the Orthodox. They also say like that God is there, the spiritual kingdom is there, everything is there in the heart. And so, so when we make this step, this mentality adjustment, we can go into this deeper level of consciousness, of chanting the holy name in a powerful way. And this is happening when we have this connection with the Lord. Sachidananda Maharaj often say, let your sincerity wash away your false identity. Your sincerity in the sense, as we say, when we enter the door, that we want to enter at the temple of the heart, where we start to chant, we really come to this place of sincerity where we say, my dear Lord, I have only you, I am dependent only on you. For many lifetimes I have forgotten you. Now I don't want this any longer. I want to come with you, this place of sincerity. And this place of this sincerity can wash away all our false identity. So because Krishna actually wants to see that we are connected. He doesn't want that just a chanting that is lip, but it was a chanting that is heart deep chanting from this place of sincerity and honesty, who we are. And when we are able to make this step to connect with the Lord from where we are, with honesty, without we cannot impress Krishna, so he knows where we are and who we are. And if we start to learn to practice to chant in this way, then this actually will make a big impact on our consciousness. We will, our vision of life will change. We will see things differently. I guess many of you also, when we chant properly, when we read the scripture, we see things differently than in life. We are not so affected also, because we come to a difference, like if you take when you take the flight and you go up, and then you see different things from when you are here or when you are up. So in the same way, the chanting, when it's done in this way, it brings us to see a different perspective of things, of life, of ourselves. And we will become, another result, and we will chant in this connection, we will actually become happy and satisfied. Prabhupada would say, chant and be happy. And this happiness comes, even the Lord will say, He will be satisfied when we enter this relationship. Because actually we will feel the presence of the Lord. And so we will not feel any separation any longer with Him. And so we will feel happy. No matter what happens, things, it's not that there will be no more troubles in our life. Even if nothing, old age will still be there, disease will still be there. But because we feel this connection inside and we will not identify any longer with this body and with this mind, we will have this, like Prabhupada would say, this realization that I am not this body, I'm your eternal servant. And so this natural happiness of the soul will be there. And Sachinandana Maharaj would also say, where is the Lord of my childhood gone? The one with whom I would talk as I would walk in the fields. Did I hide him under a complex network of argument and philosophical concept? Yes, so to have a real relationship with the Lord, to speak with Him, to feel His presence in our life. And in this way, as we say, so we will have a different way of seeing things, we will feel happy, and the holy name himself, Krishna himself, will start to become very active. He's always active, but when we do this step, it will become very active, even more in our life. And I will quote again one sentence from our spiritual master. He said, if we then chant it nicely, both in japa and in kirtan, the holy name will do everything. It will help us to overcome our weakness. It will arrange your life to your benefit. For this you need to understand. You are not really doing a spiritual practice when you chant. You are entering into a relationship with a personality who is beautiful. A wonderful cover boy, known to his devotee as Shama Sundar. At the same time, this attractive person who is with you when you chant has all the potency to do and undo the universe. Is that powerful? Is everywhere and is with us all the time. He has the power to do everything. And so, this is the holy name, a vibrant personality emanating bliss. And with this I want to go, because we see how Krishna is kind. I wanted to tell you a small story. And this is the story of Gopkumar. And he also kind of conditioned soul that had to go, he went through many, he was looking for the Lord. He again wanted to develop his relationship with the Lord. He went through it after a long journey. If you want, there is 3 beautiful books that you can read about. But after a long journey, finally he had to take birth in Vrindavan, in the earthly Vrindavan, and then practicing, chanting the holy name. So he was there in the earthly Vrindavan, he was chanting, and finally one day he was looking for Krishna. He got the darshan in the chanting, as you were saying. And then he looked for him, and Samuradri was looking for him. Krishna was smiling, then Krishna goes away. And then Gopkumar runs. You want to see him again. And Samuradri, he leaves his body like that, and then he comes to the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavana. And there he was again, he was still looking for Krishna. As soon as he arrived there, he felt in his heart, he was completely satisfied. He was no longer looking for something else. He just felt completely satisfaction. But still he wanted to look for Krishna, so he was looking for the palace of Nanda Maharaj. And so he saw many Vrajabasi, they were all there, but they were all doing different, engaged in different activities. Some we remember in his pastimes, because Krishna left, so during the day, when Krishna leaves, they can only maintain their life. They composed songs about the pastimes of Krishna, what he did. And the whole day they just sing songs about Krishna to remember him. Somebody was preparing some preparations for Krishna when he would come back. And everyone was trying his best to hide his emotions, but they could not, because their eyes were constantly full of tears. because out of love for Krishna. And they were constantly calling Krishna, Krishna, Krishna the whole day. And then finally one elderly man say, okay, there is the palace of Nanda Maharaj. So Gopkumar was there. And then also the entrance, he found one old lady and he asked, yeah, where is Krishna? And with a heavy heart, the lady said, he who has stolen our heart left with his friend and cows in the morning to the forest. So the day passed, and then the evening came. And the evening, Gopkumar noticed something, saying everyone started to run. Everyone in the same direction. And even the trees were pointing in the same direction. Yamuna started to flow in that direction. Everything was in the same. And that was the same gate, the eastern gate, where the morning Krishna left. And so everyone were fixing their eyes there, where there was the entrance of the forest where Lord Krishna in the morning went. And Gopkumar was also there, and suddenly the whole atmosphere changed. If you like, you can you could close up your eyes if you like. It's very beautiful. So the Yamuna stopped flowing. The birds flying in the air stood still. The trees started to bloom with many flowers. Some were overwhelmed with emotion and fainted. Some were stunned. And everyone anxiously waited to have a glimpse of Krishna. Suddenly, Krishna arrives, and there was a great celebration. He was decorated with forest ornaments. He had a moving Kadamba flowers garland. He had a beautiful peacock feather crown. His fragrance was filling all the direction. His lotus face had a beautiful, playful smile. His lotus eyes were glistening with merciful glances. With the fingers of his lotus hand, he pushed back his locks, decorated with dust. And with the sweetness of youth, he was dancing gracefully. Krishna was so happy to see everyone. After the whole day in the forest, he was back home. But suddenly, Krishna's joy multiplied. He saw Gopkumar. So leaving everyone, he just ran frantically towards him and embraced him. Seeing his dear friend after such a long time, Krishna was overwhelmed with emotion and fainted. Covered with dust and muddying the ground with tears. Everyone was thinking, who is he? Maybe he's a demon, killing Krishna. But Balaram said, no, he's actually an old friend of Krishna. Krishna is too happy to see him. And Gopkumar, meanwhile, because he also could not understand what happened to Krishna, he just fell at the feet of Krishna, and he had tears in his eyes. Then Balaram take Gopkumar's hand and ask him to caress Krishna. And then he tells, chant into Krishna's ear, chant his holy name. Gopkumar started to chant in the ear of Krishna. And finally Krishna came back to his senses. With tears, he happily embraced and kissed Gopkumar. But then looking around, he felt a little embarrassed. Krishna took the hand of Gopkumar in his lotus hand and inquired, how are you? I missed you so much, Sarup. Every day I was waiting for you, hoping that you will return one day for sure. I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful that you are back now. So now we will go to the third part of the lecture, that is how to practice this Sambandha knowledge in our daily life. So mainly this is the understanding that I am not this body and that I am a spirit soul. But this is like an analogy that it has to be planted deeply in our heart. I mean, we know we practice spiritual life since 25 years, 30 years, but still it seems we are so identified many times with our body and our mind. But so it has to be planted deeply in our heart. The example is like a seed. If you put a seed just on the surface, if the wind comes, it will throw away the seed, it will blow away the seed very easily. So we need to plant it deeply in ourselves, this conception that I am not this body, I am a spirit, I am your eternal self. And we can practice this when we chant. Whenever our mind goes away, we can bring it back and say, I am your eternal servant, I am your eternal servant. Sachinandana Maharaj also say, for deep and permanent realization, contemplate Sambandha Dhyana constantly. Don't be lazy and you will see amazing results. So in this way, it will not just be enough also that we, when we sit down to chant Holy Name, that we do this, but we need to do it throughout the whole day. We have Mahatma Prabhu that always say we need to live a lifestyle for the Holy Name. So the Holy Name, the connection with the Lord is our priority in life. So we have to arrange everything we do in our life so that the next day when we chant, we can have like the proper connection with the Lord. So first we need to create a favorable mental atmosphere for the chanting of the Holy Name. And because activities I'm doing today, they're linked to the quality of my japa tomorrow. So that means also during the day, we need to become aware of our relationship with the Lord. So we need to learn what is called the art of being in the presence of the Lord, even throughout all our days, in whatever activities we do. So this we can do it by before we do any activities. We can ask, we don't need to be in the temple, we can also just do it mentally. We can say, okay, I want to today I want to be present in my relationship. I wanted to offer you what I'm doing now is for you, my Lord. Even if I have to work, is there because I need to maintain this body. I do it, but I maintain because I'm your devotee. I want to do it for you. Before we go in the morning when we wake up, we can before even opening our eyes, we can think first. Actually, in the scripture, it suggests that Pashat Prabhu will say, as soon as we wake up, we can. The first thing we can do is say, Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Rakshama, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rakshama. So this was the song that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was constantly singing. Please protect me, my Lord, in this world. And we chant the name of Krishna. And then, even before opening our eyes, we contemplate. We start from there with this. I am not this body, my dear Lord. I am your eternal servant. You are my eternal master. So today, it's a new day. I have a new chance to serve you. Today I want to be present in my relationship with you. Please help me. I belong to you. I belong to you. We can keep this even during the day. I belong to you. I belong to you. So then while chanting, again we do the exercise, as we say, we sit down to chant and we bring back the mind, I am your eternal servant. Before any activities, we say, we remember this is for you. And then again in the evening, before I go to sleep, again we reflect on this Sambandha Dhyana. And we offer all what we have done during the day, our services, our thoughts, our words, even if we forgot. But there is a beautiful verse that is very well known by the pujaris. They say, Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmanavan shritasvabhava Karome Yatyat Sakala Parasmai Narayana Yeti Samarpayami. He says, so whatever I have done, Kayena, with my body, whatever I have spoken, Vacha, with my words, whatever manas, whatever I thought with my mind, and whatever indriya, whatever I perceive with my senses, whatever I comprehended with my buddhi, with my intelligence, okay, now I offer everything to you again. And like this, it's our day for Krishna. And yes, so this is a little bit what we wanted to share with you today. And it was the topic, it was about developing a relationship with the Lord. We started with this beautiful verse where Prabhupada was saying the Lord is looking for a relationship with us. He's satisfied actually only when he has this love with devotees. Then we saw a little bit our heart, the temple of the heart. There are many things there, and we need to open the door, to free the door. But we saw that the mechanical practice doesn't work, so we need a practice with connection. And we saw also when we have this connection, we saw the result that we will become, this will change our perspective toward life. We will become happy because we will feel the presence of the Lord in our heart, and the Lord himself will become happy, will become very active in our life, the holy name. And so much that we will reveal, we will see it's no different than the holy name. And then we saw how to practice Sambandha in our daily life, because if it's just something on the surface, it will immediately go away. So since the morning when you wake up, you remember, you chant the name of Krishna, you remember I am your servant, then you chant the name with the same before every activity during the day, as much as you can. This is for you, my dear Lord. And in the evening, even if I forgot whatever I've done for you today, my dear Lord, is for you. And in this way, it will go deeper in our heart, and then the chanting will become, we will be able to go on a deeper level of chanting, where we bring very fast, we move us out of the analphabetical zone, and we bring us closer and closer to our Lord. So if you still have any small question, comment, I'm most welcome. Yes, please, first you.
Thank you very, very much for this wonderful lecture and this wonderful letter from Krishna.
Can you just summarize the question if you don't have microphone?
Okay.
Thank you, wonderful lecture.
Also, one small thing and one real question. The small is regarding the Leela with Gokumar. He became Krishna's darshan doing chanting and Vrindavan, and then he gave up the body and ran after Krishna, or he ran after Krishna and then he gave up.
This question about Gokumar. No, he took birth. He had to take birth in Vrindavan.
Yeah.
So he took birth in Vrindavan, in the earthly Vrindavan,
Yes.
and there he was a sadhaka. So he was practicing. He was chanting the holy name. So when he was chanting the holy name, he came to perfection. So he got the darshan of Krishna when he was in the earthly Vrindavan. But then Krishna disappeared. So Gokumar was running, looking for Krishna. And it is said, if I remember well, that he fell actually in the Yamuna.
So
He fell in the Yamuna, and when he woke up, he was actually in Vrindavan, in the spiritual world.
okay. Yeah, my more personal question is, you said when if we don't have good relationships with others, also a sign that our relationship with Krishna is not good. How is it if we don't have a good relationship with ourselves? Not because I'm quite self-critical, and if you see all your limitations, when you try with a small capacity to serve the Lord, or when you see all your impurities, how is it possible to heal this? I know that Krishna loves us I know that Krishna loves us under any conditions, but how can I heal this relationship that I also love myself and accept myself more in this
actually the endeavor, what we are doing to come closer to Him. And so even just to meditate, I mean, I know you say that, but really to, I guess, to realize, to walk in the direction of realizing how much Krishna loves us unconditionally. Even if we don't do anything, He loves us. Because we are His. He's like a mother with a child. The child can even commit a crime and still the mother will love the child. So in the same way, so I guess by meditating more on how Krishna is loving everyone, then we can develop this, and by also being kinder. This, I mean, it's also this morning Gauri was mentioning to become aware of our mind conscious. So I guess by now you got to know your personality type. Normally those who are perfectionists, they are self-critics a lot towards themselves. But you can see this and you can also consciously say, no, I don't accept this any longer. I'm lovable, Krishna loves me. So we need to change the story, the narrative. Not to accept that it's okay, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying to chant every day. I love myself because every day I'm trying to chant the holy name. Because I belong to you, my dear Lord. So, I don't know if you have any other...
I remember once one devotee was asking Holiness Satyananda Swami, she was a disciple of Maharaj, and she said, Maharaj, how do I do if I need to ask you a question that I am far away and I need an answer immediately, and how can I do what I do? And Maharaj gave a very stunning answer. He said, my dear so-and-so, you are practicing now Krishna consciousness is 10 or 15 years. You should by now know how your mind functions. And you should be able actually to notice the narrative that always repeats in the mind and to take the choice, okay, I'm not going to follow that anymore. It's not true. It's just a narrative that I put it in my subconscious in the past, but I'm not going to follow that anymore. So I think it goes back to what you were saying to me a little bit introspective of those narratives that we have in our mind, and when they are not fitting to the reality, then we should not anymore listen to them. And I mean, it's something deep that you cannot just change like this. Therefore, actually, we have sometimes therapies or things like this that help to uproot those narratives in a deeper level. But it's not the truth, and we just follow it years after years after years, and we should not, because those are blockage, those are anarthas, those are what is blocking us.
And again, also you could also read some of the pastimes where you see again the relationship that the Lord has with His devotees, and this will give also like to feel this loving Lord, the love of the Lord. Yeah, so that is also meditating on those and praying again. Okay, my dear Lord, I see this is a limitation. I don't want this any longer. Please help me to move forward, to go towards this. And then gradually, this and again we do affirmation in the japa, but we can do affirmation also. Again to change this narrative. Yeah, I want only to keep those that are nourishing. You can say to you, I want to keep only those that are nourishing and favorable for my Krishna consciousness. So I don't accept this now. No, so and slowly change this. Ultimately, we know finally it's by the mercy of the Lord, but like do your best, and then the Lord will for sure will give them. Yeah. But this is it's a part of personality type. I had this. I mean, I worked also on that quite something. Self-criticism and this, and so connected with that personality type. Jennifer had
Thank you very much. So I was wondering, how do I make sure that I approach this relationship not in an artificial way, but really
start with actually the relationship also. I think Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was explaining also that the first, the budding stage of love is gratitude. So for example, we can become more real, like where am I now in my relationship with my Lord? So I like also to see, I would say, the art of being in the presence of the Lord, to start to see the Lord in our life, like in my daily life. Okay, today, I don't know, even there is a beautiful sun, I say, oh, thank you, my dear Lord, that you brought the sun today. I don't know, I can catch the train and or some. See the Lord and be grateful for the things the Lord sends you, someone that can help you, and see, okay, this is my Lord. And then the relationship becomes real. You start to see His hands. And then because as more you become grateful and as more you perceive in your life, as more also like if someone does something for you, you feel, okay, I want to do something for you as well. So I think this is like a very realistic and practical and very needful also that we start to feel the presence of the Lord, not like a distant God, but someone close to us. Actually, Sachinandana Maharaj was saying, if you would realize, if you will know who is there just next to you at every moment, your best friend, you will say there will be no more fear, no more anxiety. Yeah, but it's a practice, again, it's not just something, as you say, it's not just something theoretical. I mean, here we are explaining what is also the term, but then you need to make a practice out of it. So you could also think, okay, how can I start to develop, where is my relationship, first of all, with Krishna, and how can I look for Him in the things that happen and recognize. And then you say, okay, my dear Lord, you are so kind. I also want to chant for you. As more, and you do this step, then you will see more, because again, it's changing our vision, because then you will look for Him. And then He will become even more present. And that it grows. So in this way, that's the way. So we start also with this gratitude. Also again, even just for small things, thank you. Today I have another day, my dear Lord. For you, it's another day. I am healthy actually. I have prasada. I can be in connection with. These are all things, but that they tend always, this is like the trick of everything tends to become ordinary. But these are so special actually, that we can be in connection with the devotees, with Krishna in this life, what we are doing. See, most of the people, they are really completely forgotten everything. So to start with this, and then we can build up our relationship. Would you like to add something?
I'm just thinking maybe in the beginning it needs to be at least, we have to start with the intellectual level, otherwise it doesn't reach us. But as we blend it deeper and as we meditate on it and contemplate on it, then it gets mature and it gets more alive inside of us. But if we just keep it on the intellectual level, then after sometimes we feel uncomfortable to hear about, oh, I'm a spiritual soul, yeah, I heard, but one might even feel bitter because one did not go deeper. And so it starts by the intellectual level somehow, but then we have to bring it in a deeper level so that it becomes realized and part of our life.
Yeah, and also because this realization, it's also in the temple of the heart. So you have to be, it's in a different space. So even when we chant the holy name, we need to be able to come to that different space, not to just stay always on the level of the mind. So for this, I mean, it can be really helpful before chanting, not just putting the hand in the bead bag and stuff, but like, okay, even just to feel deep breathing, like thinking, okay, I am a spirit soul, I'm inside my heart, now I will do something. So it's really also, we need to go to a different level in our life. So even just take the time, even then to reflect. Yeah, that's already opens another space. Otherwise, most of the time also we are doing activities, we are always like kind of ourselves also maybe in Rajaguna, but even just to bring some Sattva Guna. So take the time to reflect and then to come to these different levels, and then from there it's kind of moving in the direction.
First of all, thank
structured and practical and genuinely very nice. Thank you. I'm somehow reflecting on the power of hearing. And in twofold. First, with hearing, you're strengthening intelligence, and then you will more easily explain whatever is going on there in the heart and the mind. And also that by hearing sufficiently, the heart changes. I was just thinking about this verse, Shiva Tamsvata Krishna Punoshnana Kirtana Hiritasvata Vadani Motisukritata, that Krishna is there in the heart, and he himself will clean our heart. But the heart of whom? Shinvantam, those who have developed urge to hear. So just by hearing enough, somehow things fall into place and heart changes. So,
Yes.
I thought.
Yes, actually this always goes together, Shravan and Kirtan, the chanting of the holy name and the hearing of the scripture, that's good. You cannot even separate them, they go together. So definitely that is...
I guess it's also connected to the hearing of the holy name, huh?
Yeah, both of them. You cannot separate actually, because also by reading the scriptures you get the knowledge also and understanding that also give you conviction and help you to then go in the chanting of the name in the proper and again Prabhupada again. The purpose is I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, so it's like it's a constant thank you.
And I feel it's realizing we are spirit soul will not happen just by intellectual understanding, but it will also happen in the heart by realization. And the more we read it, the more it's coming. So.
Thank you. So I guess we will stop here because 10:30 we will meet again. So today we will go for a long walk with Krishna with our chanting. And wish you a wonderful day. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki, Jai Shila Radha Madhana Ki, Jai